Alrighty, we're recording. Here we go. Roster review for the league. Don't drink and draft. The team Own the North. Help me. Okay, so I say this with all of these reviews right at the top. We have keep trade cut value listed here. That is total value of the team, players and picks included. You're listed at third. There is a sizable gap here. Normally, I would say really 10 any range of about 10,000 could just become interchangeable. So I could, you're listed at third here. I wouldn't be surprised if you finished at 7, 8, depending on how this value is utilized on the roster. Like if it's all picks, that doesn't help you at all this year. So let's take a look at your team position by position. This is a 12-team Superflex start 9. You've got Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Jackson Dart. So 4 QBs. I don't know that any one of them I feel confident is going to be a massive difference maker, but you have a bunch of them. I'm going to call this a really strong 3. Production-wise, not great because you got 4 and you can only start 2, but you have room to make moves out of this. Running backs, Travion Henderson, Scatabo, Tootin, Harris, Dobbins, Corum. This is like a good 2. Hopefully Travion Henderson hits the ground running. And then everyone else here, I wouldn't be surprised if they were running back 30 or higher on the year. So that'd be Scatabo, Tootin, Harris. I just don't feel confident that any one of these guys is going to be your week in, week out RB2. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra, Nico, Ladd, DJ Moore, Josh Downs, Mike Evans. That's really good. This is 4. If we had a top 5, what would make this a 5? If DJ Moore was as high as like Marv, then I would say, or maybe Marv or like JSN range, 12, 13, or AJ Brown. That would probably push that up to a 5. But you got 4 really strong options. Josh Down, we're hoping takes a step forward this year. Maybe Mike Evans is that 5th really strong option. You have enough to fill out a lineup. That's pretty good. Tight ends, Tucker Kraft, Ben Sinnott, Cole Kmet, Chiga Okonkwo. I mean, we may have 3 dead bodies right here. I'm a Ben Sinnott believer, but if we're not seeing something this year by week 8, I think he becomes cuttable. Okay, future value. You've got a first next year. Have you guys done your rookie draft? Yeah, because you have Travion Henderson. So do we have a good enough starting lineup here? If we're looking at, like, we need to get to 9. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Travion Henderson. We're good. I don't feel like we have a strong second running back. Amon-Ra, Nico, Ladd, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, and a tight end. And then you have Josh Downs, who could play. Like, yeah, you have enough to fill out a contending level roster. I think we're going to have to make some moves to bolster this for a playoff push. Like, you don't have too much value tied up in like future picks. I don't see a lot of dead value here. Like if you had someone like CJ Stroud, I would call that kind of dead value where he would show up as QB9, but would produce the same as Trevor Lawrence. Your team is not a lot of wasted value in this number. So I think you're good. You're in a good position. Let me just check this. Okay, so let's talk about some moves you could make. We got to move one of these guys and try to get. I don't care as much about what you get for them in terms of like if it's a draft pick or a running back, but I'm just trying to maximize what I get for one of these guys. I'm not sure where you drafted Jackson Dart in your draft. 12 team. I don't know if you got him like early second. If you had, maybe you had the 203 or 204 and then got, or 103, 104 and then got him at 203, 204. I'd say by this time next year, Jackson Dart is very likely worth a first round pick. So if you're not getting a future first for him, just hold him until he's starting to see if he plays. Like if he has any sort of rushing upside in a super flex league, it'll be worth at least a first. I'd be looking between Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, whoever can get more now to get you a running back. You could trade them for a pick and then trade a pick for a running back. if no one is going to give you good value, I would look to move a first to grab someone, any sort of running back. I don't know if you get Alvin Kamara and more, or if you got, let me just list some running backs and then I'll talk about how I would try to get them. So like Kamara, Ken Walker. I would see if I could get Ken Walker. I would see if I could get Pollard for super cheap. Yeah, this guy might move you Pollard or James Conner. Both of those would be good options for your team. This guy might move Dak Prescott to you as well. Like if you were able to down tier from any one of those quarterbacks that you have to Dak or to Kyler, those are both cheap options that are going to produce really well this year. And your team is at the spot where we're not as much looking for hopefuls. We're looking for really good production. So you have 4 super young quarterbacks. If any one of these became Dak and more, that would be really good because he's probably going to be a top 8 for sure quarterback in terms of production this year. And we don't care as much about the future. For a team like this, we care about winning money in the league. So how to get someone like Kamara, maybe a future second and a 26th third. We don't really have a second. I don't want to send away a first to get Kamara as the best part of that deal. I would try to be tiering up into those older guys like Kamara, Pollard, maybe Brian Robinson as a good RB2 to just kind of get solidified production here. I don't feel great about down tiering from either one of these guys to get running back production. But if that was the only option I had, I would be open to, I guess, Amon-Ra. But even in my face, you can see I'm not super excited about making that sort of move. You can make the playoffs with only one good running back. I just wouldn't feel confident about it. Thinking of other moves, I mean, if someone's going to pay you huge value for Caleb Williams, I'd probably just hold. I think the thing I feel most confident about right now is you could move that first and add, maybe something onto it and get Kyron Williams, and that would be great. A first straight up for Ken Walker, I would personally probably do in a 12-team start 9 just to have a solidified setup. If you have any questions or if anything I said was confusing and you need more clarity, or you can respond in the YouTube comments. If you have any trade offers you're mulling over, you can submit those to the website and I'll get back to you usually within a day with full typed out context of what I'm thinking. All right, man. Thanks a lot.